I think a fair estimate would be a year delay.
And during that time, we're not getting the DEQ loan that the judge has already okayed us to go ahead and take, which means that's why we have the fallback on the election to have that go forward at the same time. But theoretically speaking, right now we don't have to do the election because we've been authorized. But until we know for certain that it won't be, I mean, can you know for certain that something's not going to be challenged?
Well,
Madam Mayor.
at some point.
Sorry to interrupt. I think my statement might spare us some discussion.
Certainly.
Thank you. That's all right. Madam Mayor, esteemed council members, I have reviewed and considered Judge Lester's opinion. I'm gratified that he specifically rejected and refused to consider the economic-based arguments presented in legal briefings and affidavits. The judge refused to consider the low-interest loan opportunity from Idaho's DEQ and the argued utmost importance for immediate action to secure the funding opportunity. It has been my position all along, which I have been verbally criticized by council members and others for, that weighing economic considerations has no place in a judicial analysis on the question of constitutionality of proceeding without an election. As Judge Lester stated, as Mr. Clark referred to, no court can release a city from the public vote requirement of the Idaho Constitution because the debt incurred happened to be a loan with a great interest rate. Judge Lester's strength of fortitude in acknowledging the Idaho Constitution cannot be bought by economic considerations. Gives me a great amount of confidence in his analysis of ordinary and necessary under Article 8, Section 3 of the Idaho Constitution. I find Judge Lester's analysis not only compelling but also soundly based upon legal precedent. As a result of Judge Lester's well-reasoned opinion, I believe that the interests of those of us who want to see the Idaho's Constitution upheld have been met and satisfied. Therefore, I will not be pursuing an appeal of his decision, and I fully support moving ahead without an election.
Let me ask a point of clarification, Councilman. Typically in legal proceedings, when somebody backs out or withdraws, there is filed something, for lack of a better term, in this case, a withdrawal of opposition with prejudice. And that would mean that you would give up, as you said, any right to oppose or appeal in the future, but we would need to have something in writing filed by the court, and we could prepare that if that's something.
Yep.
Is that
you
what you're thinking?
Sir, I'll sign it.
Mike, thank you, Steve. I think that's a stand-up thing to do and appropriate. Can somebody else come tomorrow and appeal another citizen that did not appear in court, or is Steve the only person who holds that process up, or who has standing to appeal, to use the legal terminology?
I think Councilman Adams is the only one who has standing. Now, anybody can go file anything tomorrow based on anything or nothing. The reality is, I think if anybody else came in, they would be dealt with fairly swiftly by the court, saying you have no standing to even raise this issue, because Councilman Adams appeared in the original hearing and said, I oppose this. Then he has standing. He's a party to this proceeding and could, if he chose to, go forward with an appeal. Sounds like he's changed his mind on that.
Would that have would his withdrawal of opposition have sort of binding so that we can move forward without an election? Because right now the clock is our gating item, because we need to tell the county whether we're actually going forward with an election or not. And I'd like to, if Steve's going to withdraw that and nobody else has standing, I'd like to make a motion to withdraw the need for the vote at this point in time so that we don't incur any additional costs.